Again, here's the update of my upholstery job. The seats are still a bit wrinkled right here. I'm not going to worry about it. I took the foam out and I reinstalled the foam in it. The seats are just a bit wrinkled right here. I think it's because when I put the glue in it, it made it wrinkle. It's older leather, so I can't find the exact color. If I do, I will redo this top part. Not a big deal, but I want to continue on working on the car. I did the dash cover. I'm not sure how it ends, but from looking at the pictures on the internet, it shows it continuing here and landing over. It's because there's a big gap right here once this part is installed. So the first one I did, I basically wrapped the vinyl back in there and installed it, and it looked terrible with all this metal exposed. Even though it was painted the same color as the car, it still looked tacky. So I basically tried to mimic what's out there with pictures on the internet. So I'm not too sure if that's correct. Put the carpet in. I have a rubber mat for it, original style one, but unfortunately when I did this carpet, I didn't have the rubber mat, and I put the where the washer pump is, I put it a bit too low. I think it needs to go up a little higher, but I'm not going to screw around and try to get a new piece of carpet and remake that specific part. The grills are not factory correct. They're not Porsche at all. They're Japanese vintage NOS speaker covers I got on eBay. They were brand new in the box from the 60s. It came with speakers, but the speakers were no good. I put some decent speakers in there. I put a pile amp behind the floorboard. It has 300 watts to power the speakers, and Bluetooth. The AM/FM shortwave radio works, but like you say, it's an old style radio. It's not stereo. It's basically a mono radio, but it's the correct radio for not this year. It's more a newer one for like 1967. I looked it up, but it looks so much like the original 60s, early 60s, that I don't think it'll matter. Only a professional could tell. Basically, the next step is to find the bolts that go in here. I don't know what they look like. I don't know if they're chrome or stainless. So I got to put the carpet back in here. I already sewed them up. This back panel, I had some pull knobs. I have like hundreds of pull knobs from the 60s and 50s that are plastic. I basically cut them down, drill a hole through them, and tapped them. So these will unscrew if I ever want to access this piece and clean it. So that took a little bit of thinking, too much thinking, too much time on it. The dash, as you see, I did the box. The original box was all beaten up. It was almost like crackers. I got some resin and I coated it, and I put paper, like a paper mache doll, and I basically layered it with paper and then just painted it so it's nice and stiff and it's nice and strong. Why buy a new one if you can repair what you got? So this next step is basically to get this window channel to work correctly. I think it's a bit small, so as you roll down the window comes out of the track. So I got some different channel that we'll put in there. The door handles that go on here, I fabricated, and I basically fabricated these to mimic the original style clips that go behind the door panel. So when you put the door panel in, it just slides on top. I'll probably put a piece of rubber in there so it doesn't vibrate when you're driving. As you see, the next step I'll probably fabricate is an armrest. I'll mimic the hinges with the holes in there. So basically it'll come out like this, and then it'll be flat on top, and then provide a cup holder, just one cup, because the driver needs the cup holder, not the passenger. So basically when it's all done, I'll make it go like this, flatten it out, and drill holes in the stainless, and then I'll make the cap mimic this. I have a little leather left enough to make the armrest for that. I think that will look cool. I'm going to try to figure out probably a point to mount my seat belts down in here in the center, not where the hooks are, but I may still hook them up on where the hooks are. I have aircraft style seat belts from like the 1940s that I might use. I've seen them on Porsches. I just have to plate the fixtures and remake the webbing for it because the webbing's too stiff. They're for P51. I forgot, not sure if it's a Hellcat or a P51 Mustang, but I have those seat belts. So this is, like you say, this is the late, I would say mid-60s Recaro seats. And I don't know how the original ones for the 63, there's a little provision right here for the hinge for this, but I couldn't find the seats at the time. But after I bought these seats, cut them down and fabricated them, I found seats were almost free after that. I was a little bit upset about that, but that's okay. Still got to put the rubber down there for it to stop. I have to figure out the shift mechanism because this throw, I hope it doesn't hit this. I hope it just stops here, but I have to hook it up to the transmission to see where it shifts. This is all loose right now, so it's all loosey-goosey. So hopefully it doesn't hit that. If it does, I will cut this down and move the knob down. Not a big deal. But you see, this is where it's at. And I'll just show you how I'll make that armrest. See how the holes are on this? I'll mimic that. The headliner's in there pretty nice. Next step is to put the windows in. Trying to figure out how this goes. I don't know if there's a channel that goes around here, like a rubber channel, to close this off. It should. I think the Volkswagens do. I'm sure the Porsches probably have the same thing. They wouldn't leave the headliner material like that. So installing the rubbers, getting that discussion that goes right here. I might fabricate it. If not, they're not expensive. I'll just buy new ones. But this is it. I appreciate your time looking, and God bless.